I'm from Austin, Texas, but currently live in Dallas because I go to UTD. I'm studying ATech, which means arts and technology. I started off doing game design, which is like a part in ATech, but that kind of changed. I was doing like the modeling for characters, making them and stuff like that. And I realized I didn't want to be doing that 8 hours a day every single day. And I realized I was a much more outdoorsy person who wanted to do hands-on things and wouldn't really be content sitting behind a screen all day. I started doing video and photography, because it gets me a little more hands-on stuff. But I really like the cinematography, the getting cool shots, cool angles, and going out places and doing it. And that's just like my favorite thing to do. So when I'm back home in Austin, I'm not up in Dallas. I do a lot of active things that I don't get a chance to do while I'm in Dallas. So I do a lot of biking and skateboarding, stuff like that, really outdoorsy things. We started off doing BMX racing, which is bicycle motocross racing. That's just like very fast, flowy, not super into jumps, but you're just trying to win. And I've kind of like switched from that into doing a little bit more of like dirt jumping and stuff like that, which is just trying to get a lot of air, trying to go really high in the air, and just focusing a lot on that and not on speed or anything. And so we've done that. And then we've also gotten into downhill mountain biking, which is all the best parts of biking, which is going really fast, jumping a lot, but no pedaling. We sometimes go to Colorado, and we've done some downhill mountain biking up there. You just take the ski lift up and then ride all the way down. We kind of developed our own track in my backyard based on what we like to do with end biking. And so that's kind of progressed over the years and gotten really cool. So while I'm in Dallas, my options are kind of limited because it feels like a city of concrete in some ways. And so I don't get to do some of the things I want, especially biking and stuff. There's just no place for me to do that. So I do some things to kind of make up for that and fill that void. I longboard to class every single day. It's not super necessary, but I love doing it because it's just like that little spark of like, I don't know, adrenaline and stuff. So I do that. If I'm not doing something active like that, I'm typically hanging out with friends and stuff. I actually lead a small group in my apartment. So that's just like a group of guys who like come together and meet up and talk about cool topics and have purposeful conversations. And that's always like a real blessing to have in my life, because I don't think I would normally run into that kind of thing where I get to just really have cool, deep conversations with people. And that's really important to me, to be able to have that in my life. And not just have like those conversations that I think most people love, but just randomly. So I pretty recently kind of bought a record player, and it's a very unique and different way to kind of listen to music that I'm used to. I just always listen to it digitally on Spotify or something, and then this way I actually have like a physical copy. And I mean, I just like it better than buying CDs and stuff. So I've been kind of accumulating a little bit of a collection of records. Been listening to a lot of Tame Impala, because that's just like a band that I've been liking at the moment. But there's also this really cool Bayo album that I like the music on it, but it's also this blue vinyl, which is really cool and unique. And I think it adds like a visual touch onto the music, which is kind of different. My dad likes to build things. It's kind of how he shows love to people. And so he ended up building me this like pretty decently sized custom cat tree out of these old ladders and like soda boxes that are super old and like almost antique-y looking, but it's really cool. And he made it so that they like can climb up the ladders and sit up on the boxes and get like a viewpoint of the whole apartment. And most people who like walk into my apartment are like, what is that? I'm like, just wait, one of them will be there soon enough. So we're in the middle of core. Someone was like sharing this deep personal story, that we hear like this rustling in the background. And I live with two cats, and one of them is named Tom. And Tom decided to put his head through the loophole of a like paper grocery store like sack. And so he did that, and we hear it in the background. We don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden there's a horrendous noise and racket. And then there's just this blur of motion running around the apartment, and we don't know what's going on. Then we see Tom has it like looped around his neck, so it becomes like sort of a cape / parachute. It's a cape parachute behind him, He's running and he's like literally jumping over people who are like sitting down and having a discussion, and he's just like vaulting over them. It's ridiculous. And one of my guys like grabbed the bag off of him and like ripped it off, and it's like, what, why did this happen?